Hello everyone. So today's meta principle: strategy games require balancing long-term objectives and short-term objectives. So this is a principle I've seen mostly, and I'm Dan Haseman, someone we've already talked about a lot, and we will talk about him a lot. He's really created a lot of principles, and he's really added to a lot of principles, and he's collected a lot of principles. He is the principles man. Yeah. And Dan Haseman has spoken about this. I haven't seen it much in the chess world, this exact thought at least, but of course it's been said before, and of course outside of the chess world it's been said quite a lot. So the point of this meta principle, why is this a meta principle? The point is just so that you remember, when you're playing the game of chess, you have to remember to balance your short-term objectives and long-term objectives. Ideally, you don't want to just create a long-term objective without taking care of the short-term objectives, and you don't want to just make short-term objectives and never really make a big long-term objective. Ideally, what you want to happen is that you make small short-term objectives and you end up reaching your long-term objective. Kind of like in life, right? You make small goals and then try to reach your bigger goal. So yeah, that's the point of this meta principle. So let's move on to the next section. Alright guys, so for the associated principles. So the following associated principles, there are three. They're going to show the importance of short-term versus long-term objectives, and how one could be more important than the other. Okay, so first of all, we have the first one: trade short-term advantages for long-term ones. You want to, if you have a short-term advantage, it might soon dissipate, it might soon evaporate. So you need to trade it for a longer-term advantage that can last longer so that you're able to win the game. This is the first associated principle. Second associated principle: static versus dynamic. So static is more long-term, while dynamic is more short-term. You have to balance the two, statics versus dynamics. This is something I am Jeremy Silman talks about a lot, especially in The Amateur's Mind and Reassess Your Chess. Third associated principle: short-term plans over long-term plans. This is something John Watson, I am John Watson, talks about. So you want to there's a kind of hierarchy of importance here. You don't want to make a big long-term objective if your short-term objectives don't really make sense. I mean, you're not going to reach the long-term objective. So first you work on the short-term goal, and then you might achieve a big long-term goal. And Watson says that this is how chess is played by strong players. They play for short-term things, and then it kind of works out into a big long-term thing, long-term goal or some such. It's not that they have a big grand plan that they start out with 10 moves before and then they realize it. Some annotators might make you believe that, but that is not the case. Alright guys, so very important meta principle, I think, something you need to keep in mind. Yeah, so hopefully you got something out of this video. Alright guys, take care, bye.